Speaking of dead, what is with all of these dead people that keep coming to see me?
Hi, this is the Professional Amateur Hour coming to you with another review. This week I checked out Bulletproof Jesus, and this 2024 film was directed by William Lee and actually stars him as well. He also wrote it in addition to that. But there's other actors in there like Grace Kelly and Donald Smith, just to name a few. The story of this movie is that William Lee is Jesus, and he's a kung fu master, samurai master, and bulletproof to boot. And it is up to him to kind of stop the apocalypse from happening. For, thousands of years, he wasn't allowed to engage with humans, but then something happens and now he is allowed to actually get involved in human affairs, or at least earthly affairs. And so he teams up with, a little team that he's got going, and together they go out and they meet up with the daughter of Satan, who's also, a kung fu master. And they are teaming up to stop Satan from opening up the apocalypse, because Satan has teamed up with a time traveler who can then go into another dimension and get the 4 keys of the apocalypse, thus unlocking the apocalypse. So really it's up to Jesus, his team, and of course the daughter of Satan to stop this from happening. What will happen though? Well, for that you gotta watch the movie and find out. Alright, so let's discuss this movie. Well, with this one, what can I say that works with this one? Well, holy moly with this one, because William Lee is Jesus in this one, and he's bulletproof, and he's a kung fu master, and he's a samurai master. He does it all. He is certainly the lead in this one. He has created this movie more than I think anyone else, and he does a fun job with that one. I would say if you are a fan of B movies, such as the Neil Breen movies, this reminds me very much kind of a movie that Neil Breen would make. There's just so many things. Like, first of all, William Lee here is, the writer, the director, the star. Then the way that it's just kind of put together and shot, it has these voiceovers and these kind of exposition dumps every so often. That's very Neil Breen. It has the special effects that are certainly Neil Breen-esque. None of it's on a green screen or anything like that. It's all, real locations. But then they just put explosions, and when they're punching and kicking each other, they just have explosions here, explosions there, just overlaid on top of regular punching and kicking. And so it is just a blast the way that it's all put together. It's kind of like a perfect storm or lightning in the bottle that way, where it's just absolutely ridiculous, and I'm absolutely there for it. In addition, I thought all of the characters certainly did work. You certainly get, more than Jesus. And with a story with Jesus, you would expect, people like Satan and the daughter of Satan and, the apocalypse horsemen and whatnot to show up. And they do in some form or the other. With this one, Satan is just kind of like this big guy in hell. And then even the way that they kind of present hell is just looks like a regular building, looks like a regular room or a regular field or anything like that. They might have an orange or red tint on it, but besides that, it's kind of more conceptual that way. And then the daughter of Satan, I thought she was really good. I just liked all of the characters really when it comes down to it. So yeah, there is more than just Jesus to enjoy in this one. Also, if you like kind of crazy movies, this has a lot of craziness for you. Of course, with Jesus being there and him being bulletproof, that's just bananas. And the first time that he gets all shot up and, it's revealed that he's really bulletproof, after all, if the title's not enough, of course. And so you just yell at the screen yeah, bulletproof, that's amazing. It fulfills on its title, right? And then there's all this other crazy stuff with the story. Especially with Satan, he teams up with a time traveler. Why would you ever think that that would even be possible? I would just kind of thought that was just so humorous throughout the whole way, that Satan and the time traveler is teamed up as kind of the villains in this one. It's just, craziness all over. Something that you would probably, expect from something like Neil Breen. And it's all in this one, right? It's all of this crazy one. I did look up this director William Lee to see if he has a bunch of other stuff, and he does, so I might try to check that out. And I don't know, the discovery of this guy, and like seeing what he produced with this one certainly has intrigued me. In addition to all of that, William Lee is good with the action as well. Like there's a lot of action in this one, and it's very competently done. Actually, I would even say well done, if you can believe it or not. It's not, of course, the best, but well done, I would say. So I love the action. The action was just so much fun too, because they have explosions and blood splatters. It's all just kind of these cheap overlays, but absolutely fun to watch all of the action as well. And so the characters, the story, the action all comes together to make for a really kind of fun watch, I would say. Furthermore, with this B movie, the acting is not particularly good. However, it is enthusiastic. And that enthusiasm goes a long way to make this movie really enjoyable. Because when, people are acting bad or hammy or whatever, and it's, not enthusiastic, that kind of just takes you out of it. With this one, you see William Lee there. He really wants to be Jesus. All of the other characters really kind of are putting themselves into the role and really kind of putting themselves out there. And it really just goes a long way to suck you in, and really just, you want to see them, right? You want to see these characters. You believe Satan to be Satan. You believe the daughter of Satan to be the daughter of Satan. Like I said, not very good acting, but enthusiasm. That really does make it, I think. And that brings me to what doesn't work with this film. Well, having watched it all the way to the end, I think the last 20 minutes can be cut out. It just goes on to a different story, and it kind of seems like it's like the next movie or the sequel that he's like starting to film. It really kind of seems like, William Lee maybe have the money or the time just to, film for an extra week. And, he just takes it because he can, and then include it in this movie. Though, I did want to make a note that I did see the director's cut of this one. If you can believe there's a director's cut of Bulletproof Jesus. That's just the one they have on Tubi. That's where I watched this one. And so those last 20 minutes, like I would have cut that out in like the regular version. It's just, with the director's cut, the director has the time and money to film with some more, so he does. And because of that, it's also, not really resolved as well. It certainly is like the first act of whatever sequel he's planning, I guess. And yeah, that is just really unneeded. Like I got very kind of distracted in those last 20 minutes, especially since, the story that we've been going for an hour and 20 minutes has ended. And so, yeah, that is certainly, I think, one thing that, by the tail end, you do kind of get disengaged because of that. But up until that hour and 20-minute mark, I would say it was a fantastic movie. It's just those last 20 minutes where they're just unneeded. But like I said, that's the director's cut. What can I do about that? Other than that, with this one, there were a few times like the in-camera sound just kind of sounded like it wasn't the best. The, voiceovers and other things sounded perfect. It's just a few scenes here or there that, they use the in-camera recorder. And that, it's not the biggest issue, especially with a B movie. I think with this one, it's all, of course, sacrilege as well. And so, like, as a non-religious person, like, that doesn't matter to me. Like, I'm fine with that. I had a blast with this movie, if you couldn't tell. But if you do care about that stuff, maybe something to consider. But overall, just a fun, silly, crazy even B movie. As for a recommendation, well, certainly B-movie lovers, check it out. I was having a blast. Even from like the first sentence, I was just like laughing out loud at it. If you know who Neil Breen is, it is very kind of reminiscent of that. It certainly has its own, unique kind of features with all of the kung fu and action that way, but certainly, comparable, I think. So if that sounds like something you want to watch, check this one out. It should be on Tubi, so you can go there and press play. As for a rating, well, I haven't given this rating out for a while, but this movie certainly does deserve it. And that is the good bad score of 4.5. And with that being said, I think that's all I wanted to say. So thanks for watching, and of course like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.